All right, today we're jumping into a really powerful mental tool from Emilie Cady's classic work, Lessons in Truth. We're going to break down this surprisingly modern idea she called denials.
I mean, you know how this goes, right? You're having a perfectly good day, and then bam, one critical email, one snarky comment, one little setback, and suddenly your whole mental state is just hijacked. It's like that one thing suddenly has the power to ruin the entire rest of your day.
But what if you had a way to stop that whole spiral in its tracks? Well, that's what we're going to do. We'll unpack a simple mental tool for exactly that. We're going to see how modern science actually backs up this old idea, and I'll even walk you through a super simple, 1-minute practice you can start using literally today.
So, the solution that Emilie Cady offers is a practice she calls denial. And I know what you're thinking. That sounds bad, right? But stick with me, because this isn't about avoiding reality. It's actually about taking back control of your reality. Okay, so the core idea here is that what we see and feel with our senses, what Cady calls appearances, isn't always the whole truth of a situation. It's kind of like Plato's cave, you know? Just because you see shadows dancing on a wall doesn't mean the shadows are the real thing. Cady's point is that a lot of our suffering comes from mistaking these appearances for the actual, final reality.
So let's be super clear about what denial means here. We are not talking about denying yourself something, like a punishment. Nope. Cady's using a completely different definition. For her, to deny something means to simply declare that it is not true. That's it. It's a mental move, a firm statement you make to yourself against a limiting belief or a negative appearance.
And this is absolutely the key takeaway. It's not about burying your head in the sand and pretending a problem isn't there. It's about looking that problem in the eye and denying its power over you. It's a tool, a way to reclaim your mental space by saying, hey, this temporary negative appearance, this isn't the final word on my life or what I'm capable of.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how does this actually work? How can just saying something isn't true change anything? It's a fair question, and Cady actually gives us a really powerful analogy to help us get it.
She asks us to think about a belief that, for a very long time, felt absolutely 100% real based on what people saw every single day. For centuries, everyone believed the sun revolved around the earth. I mean, why wouldn't they? That's what it looks like, right? That's the appearance.
So here's how she breaks down that process of, well, mental rewiring. Step 1, you see the appearance, the sun moving across the sky. Step 2, this triggers the old automatic belief, the sun is moving. Now here's the crucial part. Step 3, you have to actively and consciously deny that old belief with the new truth. You have to say, nope, the sun isn't moving. The earth is moving. And Cady's whole point is that if you do this enough, through sheer repetition, your perception actually starts to shift. That new belief eventually becomes your new default.
Now, this might sound a little old-timey, I get it, but what's fascinating is that modern psychology has totally caught up to this. Researchers today look at Cady's method and basically say, wow, this is an early intuitive version of what we now call cognitive restructuring. And that's a huge deal. It's a cornerstone of modern evidence-based therapy.
So this isn't just some quaint spiritual idea, you see. It maps directly onto really powerful modern psychological concepts. In cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, you learn to catch, check, and change negative thought patterns. That's exactly what this is. In acceptance and commitment therapy, you learn to become the observing self. You're like the big open sky and your thoughts are just the weather passing through. And it even connects to what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. The most powerful way to change your behavior is to change your identity.
So at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is a practical cognitive tool. It's a straightforward technique for managing your inner world, for consciously choosing where you put your focus, and for rewiring those automatic thoughts that used to hijack your day.
All right, so the theory is cool, but how do we actually use this? Let's get practical and look at 3 examples, at work, in our relationships, and with our personal habits. Okay, let's say at work a project totally flops, or you get some really harsh criticism. The appearance is I failed. The old belief that pops up might be, see, I'm just not good enough. Using this method, you would consciously deny the power of that appearance. You literally say to yourself, this one event is not the truth about what I'm capable of. This does not define me. Or how about in relationships? It's so easy to get stuck on old wounds, right? The appearance is that some past hurt is still ruining things for you today. The practice here is to deny the power of that memory to control you now. You'd say, yes, that happened back then. I see it. But it does not have power over my peace or my ability to connect with people today.
And with habits, this is where it really clicks with that identity stuff. Let's say you want to stop procrastinating. Well, you've got to deny the identity of I am a procrastinator. You have to actively declare, nope, that's not who I am anymore. I'm a person who is focused and disciplined. When you deny that old identity, you're literally creating the mental space for a new one to grow. And that new identity is what's going to drive your new actions.
Okay, let's make this super practical. Right now, I'm going to walk you through a simple 1-minute exercise you can use anytime you feel your day starting to get hijacked. Let's call it the denial drill. So first, just identify one of those recurring negative thoughts, that feeling of not being good enough, or maybe a fear of something specific. Got one? Okay. Now step 2, just take a breath, close your eyes, and just see that thought. See it for what it is, an appearance, a mental shadow. Step 3, silently but with real conviction, just tell yourself, this is not the truth. And for the final step, deny its power over you. Say something like, you have no power over my peace. You have no power over my action.
What this little drill does is actually pretty profound. It's about shifting your entire mindset from being reactive to everything happening around you to being intentional about the world within you. You stop letting those external appearances call all the shots inside.
All right, so let's do a quick recap of the big ideas from Cady's concept of denials.
First off, your day doesn't have to be hijacked by appearances. You have a say in the matter. Second, remember that denial in this sense is a powerful tool for declaring limiting beliefs untrue. It's not about avoidance. Third, this is a skill. It takes repetition to retrain your mind. And finally, the easiest way to get started is with that super simple 1-minute denial drill.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. What is one appearance in your life? One recurring negative thought or limiting belief that you can choose to deny today? Just one.
So denial is all about clearing out the old stuff, the mistaken beliefs. Next time, we're going to look at its powerful partner, affirmations, which is the tool for building up the new. You can find this and all the other explainers in our Lessons in Truth playlist. I'll see you there.